What's up, the squad? Back with another video. I seen the title's going down. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it right here. Let me tell y'all something. I literally, I need to put that on a shirt. Let me tell y'all something. I gotta put that on a shirt. Let me tell y'all something. I can't say that this don't have a big part of what we're gonna be discussing today within this video, but I am going to say that. Because obviously, I'm pretty sure this individual right here, her name is Francesca Hong, or however you say her name. I'm not really 100% sure, but I will say that this individual she bothers me a little bit. I'm pretty sure she loves Kamala. It's no surprise. But at the same time, I find it extremely odd, about this post. Or this interview, I should say. Very weird. You have Caitlin Collins asking, do you still believe that Thanksgiving should be canceled, y'all? I'm going to start doing this every other video. But this, is honestly, a little random post. But check out what she says.
You talked about your past positions that he keeps highlighting and, obviously likely would continue to do so before November should you win. One thing that they brought up as well was a post from you in 2021 where you said Americans should cancel Thanksgiving, should have done this in 1621. The post has been deleted. Republicans have been highlighting it. Do you still believe that Thanksgiving should be canceled?
I'm a chef. And one of the first meals that I made that was for the community when I was 16 was a Thanksgiving meal. I always think my hospitality background in owning a restaurant for 7-8 years, that bringing folks around the table to share conversation and build community is always a good thing. But Thanksgiving is also a time that's incredibly painful for many people in our communities. And so I think I wanted to make sure that people understood that there are multiple views, but views can evolve. And the position that I'm running for right now, and I think my background as a chef, will actually help me become a better governor that's able to bring more people to the table.
Francesca Hong, thank you for...
This woman said... But Thanksgiving is also a time that's incredibly painful for many people in our communities. She wants Thanksgiving to be canceled, y'all. I mean, these individuals just wow to me. Like, I truly just do not understand. Somebody said, as an independent, I'm telling you, Democrats, that some of your candidates are being allowed to frame your party's message. Not going to work. I expect many voters are like me. No more outdated other people platforms. No more identity politics. Let me tell y'all something. I truly do not understand what is going on. She just said she wants to. She rather it be canceled. It's pain. I don't know about y'all. Not gonna happen. I don't like that. And it truly just goes to show y'all how they constantly move. Ain't it? Let me know what y'all think about that, though. Here we go. You got it right here. Kamala Harris is reportedly preparing to run for president again in 2028, y'all. She is preparing to run again in 2028 after what we've seen. It is insane. I know there's been a lot of talks. There's been a lot of talks of people saying, "Oh, I don't know if she's going to do it." She's saying that she might not do it. She's saying that she is. I actually want her to. I'm not even gonna lie. I want her to. I know I think it'll be even worse. It'll be worse on her part. Just simple fact. There's a lot of things that Kamala did. There's so much stuff that we can talk about. On and on and on with so much, because on just how horrible she did with the money handling, with her trying to talk like she's black, with the concert, with everything, truly with everything. Not only that, you got Kamala Harris and Representative AOC are rumored to be running for president and vice president. It gets worse. I'm telling y'all. It literally gets worse. I mean, it's crazy to me. It's truly crazy to me that you have two Kamala and AOC. Me personally, I would literally. I want this to happen. I want Kamala Harris and AOC to run. I truly do. I feel like it'd be something that truly just goes show. And I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all. It's not even so much because there's a lot of people that say, oh, it's a woman thing. That's because people don't want. I'm not even about to say that. It's because you have two individuals. Y'all know I talked to my dad the other day. My dad, he was telling me, who should, he didn't. I don't think he mentioned Kamala Harris. I don't think he mentioned Kamala Harris. Y'all know my dad is a Democrat. He did mention Gavin Newsom, and I told him that I'm surprised that he said Gavin Newsom. I'm truly surprised that he said Gavin Newsom. And, he was explaining, somewhere why. I'm going to get my dad on here. I'm going to get my dad on here one of these days. I love when I get my dad on here because, it becomes a really, really good conversations in the comments and stuff like that. But especially with the lives. But when I truly tell y'all that I know that's something that's not going to work with Kamala and AOC, it's truly not. I know for a fact it's truly not. I'm telling y'all. You got it right here. Benny John said, did you know Kamala Harris paid $500,000 to give her concession speech at Howard University? Kamala has flushed $1.5 billion down the drain in 100 days. Tens of millions on private jets. You got $3.5 million on a coconut dance influencers. $500K on LeBron James production company. $1 million to Oprah, which I heard it was $2 million. There's a lot of people, that definitely got a lot of cash. I'm pretty sure it was $500 to $1 million on having Megan Thee Stallion perform. One point in time, she had Beyonce, she had Eminem, she had different individuals. Check it out.
I have no problem with the way the DNC spent money in 2024. And not since SpaceX have you had a better investment opportunity than Kamala Harris's 98 days on the campaign trail. She spent $1.5 billion, Jesse. Get a load of what she spent on. She spent millions on Oprah, who's already a billionaire. She spent $500,000 in LeBron James's production company. This I did not know. I was looking this up. $3.5 million on influencers to do the coconut dance. Remember that?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay.
Yes.
She spent $100,000 for the Call Her Daddy podcast, kind of like a porn podcast, and she took millions and millions of dollars worth of private jets. But this is my absolute favorite. She spent $500,000 to Howard University for her concession speech. So even when she lost in a landslide, all 7 swing states, the Electoral College, and the popular vote, she's still losing the DNC money. $500,000 to announce you're a loser.
Wait, you mean her alma mater charged her for speaking there? That was supposed to be the victory speech. And she paid it. She just rang it up. I mean, I would hope that if I won the presidency and I was about to give a big speech, Trinity wouldn't charge me. But you know what? They probably will if it's me.
I looked up the filings before coming on the show. I just couldn't believe it when I saw that. But these people do want to run the biggest economy, a $40 trillion economy. They want to run it. And you don't want to give these kind of people the access to the keys to the kitty. You really don't, because envy is the driving force of all of this. If you look at communism, communism is effectively just church for people who don't believe in God. It's religion for atheists. And unlike Christians who believe envy is a sin, these people believe envy is a virtue. And so they envy everything that everybody else has, except for generosity isn't one of their virtues. So as soon as they get theirs, they'll keep it. Bernie keeps his islands and private jets. AOC is keeping her flights on the private jets. Ilhan Omar is keeping $30 million. And who, baby? Elizabeth Warren is keeping her beer.
Right. Well, she had $30 million, and then when the IRS came knocking, it was all of a sudden $90,000. Funny how
you can definitely tell, like, they have no leadership when it comes down to left. I don't feel like they do. People would argue that that they do. But me personally, I don't think that they do. I don't feel like, they have somebody that you obviously can even simply even look at. I can't really think of nobody. Honestly, I can't think of anybody. The only person that I could think of, honestly, is John Fetterman, and they're clearly not even looking his way whatsoever. Not only are they looking his way, and I'm speaking more so, that's having that common sense. Not only are they looking his way, but or they aren't looking his way, but also it's said that he has left the Democratic Party and he's more so independent. I'm not sure 100% on how true that is. I've seen multiple posts. I've seen his talking points and what he said. But one thing about it is that I truly feel as if they don't have anybody strong when it comes down to the Democratic Party. Truly. Says right here, Kamala Harris purchased a $8 million home in Malibu, California, and says neighborhood that is 94% white. There are a lot of people that, I find this concerning, that have a lot to say with, this. I feel like there's so many things that did hurt Kamala Harris, not physically, YouTube, but did, hurt her during that campaign. You had so many people that looked at the simple fact they don't really, and again, I'm going to tell y'all right now, there are a lot of people that only knew Kamala Harris because of the things that she was doing. They didn't know her as she was the vice president. I'm letting y'all know that right now. There are a lot of people that didn't. Nobody posted about her. Nobody said anything about her. If you go ask somebody on the street before that campaign, nothing at all. But then all of a sudden she had that short campaign. Everybody started loving her because she spoke on the color of her skin and gave some fake story that she grew up here and that these are her family members when they clearly wasn't. It was a whole thing. And then she got, as y'all know, Oprah involved, Beyonce, Eminem, Megan Thee Stallion, Migos, different rappers, different for she went to podcast of different, podcast with black individuals. She tried to use her voice, and people eventually, they didn't see it then, but afterwards, as more and more things start coming out, even in my comments, people started noticing on how she moved, what was said, the things that she did, and people started to see that. And then on top of that, they started to see her background, and they started to see things that, I put out. I'm pretty sure it was Candace Owens. Candace Owens was putting a lot of stuff out about Kamala, within that. So I don't know. I truly don't know, as far as that. But I know that things aren't looking as good and people aren't happy, with her that has voted for her. You got it right here. This California Post that Kamala Harris, new $8 million mansion. It's a neighborhood with literally not a lot of black residents at all. I know a lot of people gonna say, "Oh, what does that got to do with it?" I truly feel like it's one of those things. You have somebody that goes and wants to talk ghetto and wants to say this and say that when she clearly doesn't talk like that. She obviously has moved to this neighborhood. She tried to pin her life basically looking like, oh yeah, I grew up here and I'm pushing that I'm just like you. And then she makes it seem like, and wants to insert herself like Sonny Hostin or the regular or the rest of the View, like she's one of everybody else that is in that middle class, but you buying you a $8 million mansion, and blew through billions. It's stuff like that. It's truly stuff like that, and that becomes very sickening. And it's sad that a lot of other people don't notice, truly don't notice a lot that's what's going on. I'm telling y'all, and it truly bothers me. You got it right here. This is another post by Benny John says, someone check on Kamala Harris because of what J.D. Vance just said.
The problem is not that Kamala's campaign was too short, it's that it was too long. That when people actually listened to what she had to say, her polling went down and down and down. I think that if we had a 150-day campaign, we probably would have had 3 additional Republican senators, and Donald Trump would have won by an even bigger landslide, because the more people know about Kamala Harris, the more they realize there's no substance there. I mean, agree or disagree with Barack Obama or Bill Clinton, they actually had substance. They could actually articulate a viewpoint. I listened to Kamala Harris for 90 seconds, and I actually feel like I've gotten dumber in the process, and I have no idea what she actually believes. That's the problem with Kamala Harris, and it's going to continue to be her problem unless she actually learns how to develop a viewpoint, articulate it for the American people. Just say what you actually believe. Don't do this word salad, talking around in circles. It doesn't work, and it's why she didn't win.
I mean, that's being completely honest. I mean, you have a person that's talking in circles, that's, you know, obviously lying, talking in a certain way, and making herself, you know, to be this black woman, you know, this ghetto woman, you know, and it's truly not it. You know, she's one of those people that obviously, let me try to fit in here. You know, I'm about to fit in, you know, instead of just being herself, you know, going with her own policies. As y'all know, policies were copied, not only from Trump, but from Biden as well. Literally copied and pasted. Truly have it right here. It says Kamala Committee. Fake nomination, fake polls, fake supporters, fake policies, fake lawyer. Fake. I want to share this because I just want to see what y'all say before we end this video. I'm not going to lie. I want y'all to truly just give me and tell me what y'all think, you know, as far as Kamala, and describe her using 2 words or less down in the comments. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for the next video dropping tonight. I'm telling y'all, definitely a banger. Catch y'all next one.